Welcome to this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, where we travel the globe to bring you stories about weightlifting. Even though we're traveling the globe, sometimes it just feels like a Zoom call. The Weightlifting Platform is brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. I'm your host, Richard Mason. On this week's show, he was a teen phenom, bringing attention to weightlifting across the United States of America. He's been a youth and junior champion and world record holder, and now, for the very first time, he becomes an Olympian. We'll talk with CJ Cummings. For our tip of the week, people are arriving in Tokyo. What an Olympian has to say as advice for the other Olympians. Our tip of the week and our regular feature, Good to Know, we're going to talk about the host site for weightlifting for this Olympics. But first, here are the headlines. Brazilian super heavyweight Fernando Reis will not be competing here in Tokyo. The medal hopeful has tested positive for human growth hormone. The Brazilian Weightlifting Federation says it will go to the Court of Arbitration in Sport to fight for Reis, but they say that the 31-year-old athlete is not traveling to Tokyo for the Olympics. The out-of-competition test was taken in June. Reis' lawyer calls the athlete one of the most talented in the world and asserts that Reis has not taken any prohibited substances. An athlete from Israel, David Litvinov, is benefiting. He will take Reis' place in Tokyo. The Court of Arbitration in Sport has declined to hear the case of one of Europe's best weightlifters in her bid to go to Tokyo. Loredana Toma wanted to argue that the blanket ban on the Romanian Federation wasn't fair to clean athletes from that country, and to get an order to be able to compete at the Olympics. But the arbitrator assigned to the case by the Court of Arbitration in Sport said the court did not have jurisdiction to decide on her matter. Toma's case, named the IWF, the IOC, and Romania's Olympic and Sports Committee. The cases that caused the suspension are historic from the London Olympics in 2012 and don't involve the 26-year-old Toma, but she did serve a 2-year ban for the same detected substance back in 2014. It appears a weightlifter who traveled to Japan as part of his country's delegation is missing. Julius Setilenko was on the list of athletes from the country, but he wasn't on the list to compete, coming in case something happened to another athlete and he moved up. But Uganda brought him to Japan in case. Now he's left the company of his coaches and teammates. He had been spotted at a train station headed to a Japanese city that has a Ugandan community of people. He left a note saying he wanted to stay in Japan. And those are today's headlines. Now, good to know. The weightlifting venue for Tokyo 2020 is an impressive building. The Forum, Tokyo International Forum, was designed by Uruguayan architect Rafael Vinoli back in 1989. Hall A, which is a big portion of it, is a permanent concert hall with soft seats for over 5,000 people, a wide stage, and great acoustics. The athletes will warm up in the backstage area before lifting under the lights. The training hall is also located in the same convention center just a few floors down in a large expanse of convention space. Weightlifting is the only sport being contested at this impressive structure. And that is good to know. Now time to talk. Clarence Cummings Jr. turned 21 years of age last month. As a teen, he won 4 consecutive gold medals at World Juniors. He's held World Youth and World Junior records. He's also been featured by ESPN magazine, and he's in Tokyo getting ready for his first Olympics. You don't know who Clarence Cummings Jr. is? Well, that's because everybody knows him as CJ. CJ, welcome to the Weightlifting Platform.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, first off, we always ask all of our guests, how did you first get started in weightlifting?
Well, to be honest, I first got started into weightlifting because of my sister. I was about 10 years old, and my sister had done weightlifting previously before I even knew about it. So she brought me to the gym. And at that time, I thought she was just bringing me to the gym to do, get strong for other sports. But she told me to try out weightlifting, and that's when I met my coach. And then I just stuck with it ever since.
Now, your sister isn't the only member of the family who is a weightlifter. Your older brother lifted as well, including internationally.
Yes, yes, he did.
Now, tell me about your coach, because I understand that your coach is a very important part of your life, not only off the on the platform, but also off. Tell me about your coach and that relationship.
My coach, Ray Jones, I know him for 11 years now, and our relationship is, pretty tight and pretty trustworthy. He's like a father figure to me. He taught me, a lot on the platform as well as off the platform, just being a nice, kind human being, treating others with respect. He just taught me a lot of, Olympic and weightlifting lessons, but also a lot of life lessons. So I definitely look at him as like a father figure and, someone like a mentor, someone that I can definitely trust.
Now, let's go back a little bit into your career. I noticed the first international meet was back in 2013 at Youth Worlds. Now, you later on you had a great run as a junior and youth world champion. In your first Youth Worlds, according to what I could find, you placed 19th. Now, this was your first time.
Yes.
Were you like, yeah, 19, this is fantastic? Or did you kind of have the sense that there was kind of more to come?
Honestly, that was my first year. I placed 19th. I knew there was more to come, but I was just, happy to place at the time. It was top 20, so I was at that time just like a little kid and I didn't know much about the sport. I was still just just still training for the sport. So, I was just happy to place, in the top 20, but at that time I definitely knew there was more to come.
A few years later, 2015, you won Pan Am Youth. That's the first international medal that somebody hung over your neck. Um, was that a
hmm
turning point? Did you get the feeling that that was the beginning of the greatness that was yet to come?
Yes, absolutely. At that time it was, because I was training so hard to, just do, just become like a great athlete. Now, when they put like that medal around my neck at that time, like I definitely know, like, I was hungry for more, and this is what I wanted, and I wanted to get more medals. So at that point, I just knew it was something special, and I just, trained and work hard for, more medals to come.
Now, at some point in your career, I can't remember exactly when. I know I've seen you lift with a
hmm
split style, and then all of a sudden you
Yes.
looked like Kendrick Ferris out there. You'd gone to the squat jerk. Now, why the transition? What made you change, and was it difficult to do?
Um, Honestly, the change I changed it because, it just felt better to me. It felt natural. I can do either or if I choose. So if I wanted to go back to split jerk, I can. But, I stuck with the push jerk and power jerk because it just feels natural to me. And, a lot of people said that, oh, it's because like I had like back problems or something. But no, that's not the case. I just switched because it just felt easier and it just felt supernatural and comfortable with me.
Now, in 2015, we talked about one of your 2015 Pan Am Youth results. 2015, you were also lifting at Senior
hmm
Worlds. Now, that was at home. That was in Houston. Not exactly home, but
Yes.
close. Do you like
Yeah, close.
lifting
Yeah.
in the U.S.? Was that an opportunity for family and friends that might not be able to come see you in, Turkmenistan or someplace like that? Was that an opportunity for more of your kind of circle to come and enjoy your sport?
Yes, absolutely. I kind of like having like, worlds or, Pan Ams in like the US because, not only does like friends and family, but, the whole US get to come out, all like, the youth athletes, junior athletes, and senior athletes, they go, then they come, they, cheer Team USA on and just other countries on. So it's a cool sight to see. And usually when we host a Worlds or a Pan Am's, the venue will be amazing. So just it's pretty cool to see and like pretty cool to like compete like in your own backyard.
CJ, you started an amazing streak in 2016. You won Junior Worlds for the first of 4 times in a row. I think that's kind of a rare feat. There's not a lot of athletes that can say that they won Junior Worlds in weightlifting 4 times.
Mhm.
Is that kind of something that you're proud of? Is that something that all the other athletes walk up to you and go, "Oh yeah, no, I did that too."
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely something I'm proud of. I'm not sure, but I think I'm the only athlete that won 4 junior worlds like 4 times in a row. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. But those experiences were very memorable. I had to fight to get all 4 of those medals, and I wanted to get a fifth one, but unfortunately, COVID happened, so I wasn't able to compete, and I got moved out of the juniors. So that was a bummer, but this fighting for those 4 medals was very memorable. I had some great experiences, competing at those places, getting those medals, and it was just, it was a fun little, I guess, record-setting thing for me.
Now, while you were doing that, for part of it, you were still competing and still winning youth worlds as well. So that's a pretty busy competition schedule. But you also set records along the way. You set youth world records, you set junior world records. Now, you'll always have the 4 championships and you'll always have the youth championships, but some of those records have fallen off with other athletes coming up. I know the victories mean a lot to you. Do the records mean anything to you?
Um, I'll say so. So, the records do mean, somewhat to me because, it's like it's the high standard. It's like, it's what to beat. But, records are meant to be broken. So, the only thing you can do is just keep training and keep moving forward. So, kudos to the people and the guy who broke my records. But, just it's a part of the game. Just got to break those records and keep moving forward.
In the 73 kilo category, you've placed top 10 at the last 2 senior worlds. It's a tough transition from youth to junior. You made youth to junior easy, but it's a tough transition from junior to senior. What have your coaches told you about to try and help you along the way in the transition from junior to the senior ranks?
They told me it's just the same. It's just the same as, the youths and the juniors. So it's just you versus the bar. You just got to go up there and do the best that I can do. Don't worry about anything. It's just like the same as it is in training, as well as it is on a platform. So just, they just try to, put things in perspectives to not like, blow it out of proportion and just keep things simple, just like one lift at a time, just one thing at a time and just, simple things.
Tokyo's the first Olympics. Tell me about the feeling that when you found out that you were going to the Olympics.
It was an amazing experience. Just getting the news, having like friends, family, and like local people in my community call me and like congratulate me, and just seeing like the whole U.S. congratulating me was just an amazing feeling. And like it was just a surreal moment. So it was just like, oh, I made it to like the Olympics. But as the time got closer and closer and closer, it was just like, oh wow, it was like it definitely started to sunk in into like where it's like, bam, I'm like here in Tokyo, getting ready to compete in a few days. So it's just like the moment, and like it's like it's a surreal moment for me.
Now we talked about your age. You're just 21 right now. You're at the
Hmm.
Olympics at 21. I don't want to start doing math, but I'm going to say Paris is 24 years of age. Los Angeles, United States of America, you'll be 28. Have you set goals for
Yes.
Tokyo, or is Tokyo just kind of an appetizer before you go for it in Paris and then in the home stadium in Los Angeles, really bring it home?
I haven't really set goals for like I guess Tokyo, but I am looking at like Los Angeles as like that competition, like the Olympics. But my goal is just to go out here and do the best that I can do, and like hopefully come out with some good results and good outcomes.
Wonderful. Best of luck to you. Stick around. You're not done yet. We're going to put you on the clock next.
Yeah.
We got to know CJ the athlete. Let's find out a little bit about CJ the person. You're used to a 1 minute clock. We're going to be a 1 minute clock, and we're going to ask you some
hmm
silly questions, some serious questions, more about you, less about what happens on the platform. Are you ready? Let's put up
Okay.
the clock in
Yes.
3, 2, 1. If you had to deal without one fast food, what would it be? What would you get rid of?
Uh, I'll pro I'll probably say get rid of Burger King.
Okay. Do you have a favorite TV series that you're streaming?
Right now, ooh, that's a great one. Right now, I am currently I currently just finished a TV show called Manifest, and I'm waiting for All American to come out on Netflix.
Okay. Most embarrassing app that is still on your phone that you probably should have got rid of?
I would say probably like the most embarrassing app is like my high school, app that has like the classes, schedules, and
Oh,
everything in it. Because
your
people
homework
say,
assignments from
yeah, people say you still got those. I was just like, yes. So that's like the most embarrassing thing.
favorite author. Do you have a favorite author?
Um, I would say Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is my favorite author.
Hey, oh, the places you'll go, CJ. Oh, the
So,
places you'll
yes.
go. Well done.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. And best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Now it's time for the tip of the week. Heidelin Diaz of the Philippines is an Olympic medalist from Rio 2016. She's preparing now for Tokyo 2020, and she's given us some advice for the other Olympians in our tip of the week.
Hi guys from Weightlifting platform by Panamerica. I'm Haydel Diaz and today I'm giving tip about encouragement to all weightlifters. First tip is to dream high. Second tip is to be passionate with what you're doing. Third tip is to surround yourself with the people that will push you. So why? With the first tip, we need to dream high. For us to have direction, for us to have the drive to do our best in training. And second tip, we need to be passionate on what we're doing because we need to love what we're doing. Especially in weightlifting, it's really hard. We need to be consistent and give time and effort on our training. So we need to love what we're doing. Third tip is surround ourselves with the people that will push us to achieve our dream. Like me, I have Team HD because we need people that will guide us, that will tell us what are mistakes, that will advise us what to do and what to do next. And yeah, surround you with people that will push you to your limit. I hope you learn something from me today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform brought to you by the Pan American Weightlifting Federation. If you like what you see, you can bookmark us on Facebook, on YouTube. You can also like us on Facebook or tweet out to the IWF at IWFNET on Twitter. In Tokyo, I'm Richard Mason. Good lifting.